Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Sim. And from the beacons and the news crews, you can probably imagine what we're getting ready to do today. We have a very heavy load from Seattle up I-5 to Everett. So that is where we will be going today. Looks like it remembered I was in 10th gear, so we'll just downshift a bit, catch up to our police escort, and be on our way. Looks like it's going to be an hour of travel time, but you know how slow these special transports can be because they are honking huge, that is for sure. So we'll see if the Volvo can do it. I think we've done a few heavy hauls with the Volvo before, but yeah, I'm glad they blocked off this road because as you can see, that trailer is dragging that left lane for sure. We'll have to get on I-5, and that may be the most difficult part, and then it should be smooth sailing from there. Big air conditioning part we've done. An air conditioning part back when the Special Transport DLC was released, so not a new cargo, but coming out of the port of Seattle. An interesting sort of feel for this city. As you can see, we're at the port. Downtown is over yonder that way, and I could not imagine taking this big air conditioning unit through downtown. So I'm glad they thought that out. We can see our trailing car back there making sure no one tries to pass the giant honking air conditioning unit.
Exit left.
Yes, we shall. Police officer's trying to figure his life out. But I do like, in particular, what this Washington DLC does is these interesting interchanges. It's quite a bit different from Euro Truck. As far as the geography and the layout of the highways go, feels very dynamic. Feels like it's a big city, which I mean Seattle is. I've been there once, didn't get to see a whole awful lot. I went to a Mariners game, but you know, from what I did see, it's pretty substantial in size. That is full show. All right, we're heading up I-5 north towards Vancouver, British Columbia. Unfortunately, not going all the way to Canada. And I don't know if Canada is even on their radar, going Utah and whatnot. One of my subscribers, Oliver, commented on the last episode about the ferry. It's an easy way to get to Alaska. So if they wanted to focus just on the United States and they figure, hey, we need to get up to Alaska without going to Canada. Oh, we're sort of scrubbing that inside. How would we do it? And the ferry would definitely be an option, but I'm not sure in real life whether or not there is a ferry or a transport to go from Washington State up to Alaska. Seems like it, come on, police officer. Seems like it would be a good idea to do that. That way you don't have to worry about customs and whatnot like you do going through Canada, but Canada's so easy to get into. Well, I don't know. I assume it used to be. I heard about ye old times where all Canadians asked for was just like your driver's license or something, and they're like, yeah, sure, right on. Off you go. But then coming back to the United States was definitely more involved. Coming back to the United States from Japan through Atlanta was certainly interesting. I don't want to say they treated us like criminals, but they didn't believe we were... It's almost like they didn't believe we were citizens to begin with, and I'm sure that's their job. You know, you see, you know, hundreds of thousands of people a year, you know, coming in for travel or business, and like you come in and it's like, yeah, I'm a citizen. They're like, oh, really? Are you a citizen? Like, or do you just want to be a citizen? So, you know, it was eye-opening for sure that, you know, we would be treated as such, but no worse for the wear. And I imagine as a truck driver, you'd get the same thing coming back to the United States. It's like, you know, especially if you're loaded, it's like, what have you got in the back? And you have your manifest and whatnot, and it's expired cabbage. Nice. Seattle mole. 1 out of 2. So I imagine Seattle may have 2 tunnels that we have to drive through, and that was the first one. So still achievement hunting just a little bit, even though we're not actively seeking out those achievements. all well and good. Let's take a look at this big honking beast as we clear the tunnel, and you can see it's pretty out there. It's not the biggest load, I don't believe, but certainly does stick out like a sore thumb. All right, so are we almost to Everett now? I mean, Everett isn't too far north of Seattle. So we have the Darwing Freeway. Huh, not familiar with that. And like I said, I've never actually been north of Seattle in real life, so I don't know these freeway names and whatnot, but all right, the Darwing Freeway and Milkeltoe. Nah, that is a city I have not heard of before. I did purchase a garage in Seattle, 5 brand new trucks, hired 5 brand new drivers. They're certainly not as good as my other drivers are, as they typically aren't, but they'll be pulling their weight pretty soon. And that red car to the inside is definitely gutsy. Let's put it that way. If he thinks he can pass to the left on a left-hand turn while this trailer sort of drags. Look, buddy, if you want to go around to the left, more power to you, but I wouldn't if I were you. All right, 11 out of 16 Evergreen State. Only 5 more cities to go, and it was handy that the game updated and I had to warp to Seattle, because that way we could do that. Oh, cool, that's the Boeing factory. Yeah, that is cool. I tell you, the Boeing factory, I've never seen it in real life, but just flying over it in Flight Simulator, you know, you gotta respect how large it truly is. So, passing the Boeing factory, very cool indeed. And just getting to the bottom of the hill here.
Keep right, and then exit right.
And it would make sense that the Boeing factory would want an industrial size air conditioning for its factory.
Exit
I
right.
imagine it gets really hot in there. I work at a pharmaceutical factory in real life, and I know how cool, not cool like, oh wow, that's really cool, but like temperature-wise, how cool that factory has to be. So air conditioning is name of the game, especially when you're running servers and network closets and all that other stuff. You need a good air conditioner to keep on pumping through. And we are almost here, ladies and gentlemen, so a very short episode as it were, but one more city knocked off of the books. So we'll take a look once we pull in. How many cities? Well, we know we have 5 cities left, but we're not sure exactly which 5 cities that we will do. Yeah, could you imagine the amount of raw material that would come in on the trains to build these airplanes? Absolute nuts, I say. But what is not nuts is the park job here. Nice and easy right outside the security gate. All right, and there we are, air conditioning delivered. Good luck getting it through there. I don't think, yeah, they'll have to open that out gate probably and get it back in there. I've seen it before, large equipment going through a very narrow security gate. You know, they plan as much as they can for that, but sometimes you have to crack a few eggs to make the omelet. So $4,700, not too bad. We got one little tick toward level 36, and if you remember the last episode, once we hit level 36, our skills will be completely filled. Our fuel economy will be maxed, and then every other level after that really doesn't mean squat. So let's take a look at the world map and see here, leaving out of Everett. So we have Colville, Olmec, Kennewick, Longview, and Olympia. We might be able to get something out of Everett down to Olympia. Maybe the Longview, Kennewick, Colville, and Olmec sort of do a loop is what I'm hoping for. Let's look at the freight market and see what kind of jobs are coming out of Everett. So there's Yakima going down that way. Grand Coulee won't help us. Kennewick will. Use packagings. We might do that. And as a matter of fact, so I don't forget it, if none of these others look good, I mean, there's Colville. That would be really good, that job there, because that way we could get through Omak and Colville and take this very interesting road. And it is a high priority, urgent delivery, high value cargo worth $21,900. We're going to set that GPS destination right there and hit that up in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next American Truck Sim video. Take care.